Get mad at Harlem. Deuce to get mad at Harlem. Deuce to get mad at Harlem.
Oh, now I mean, we got Scott in the building, we got Left-Handed in the building, we got Matt Slander in the building. Crew, what's goody? How y'all doing?
Yo,
peace. What's good? Peace.
We in the building.
What's good?
Know what I mean?
What's popping? What's good? What up?
How about that, Slander? Where you at? Are you in the place where you need to be?
Nigga, I'm home where I motherfucking need to be. Man, motherfucker.
Kick your feet up there, nigga.
Fresh Slander Radio. I'm home. I got my ass to show. Fuck these niggas. We popping, nigga. We popping. Fuck out of here. We popping.
He's starting it early.
Yeah. Fuck out of here.
Yo, Scott, how you, my nigga? Scott, what's the verdict? How you, fam?
I'm chilling, man. I don't get as angry as Slander, man. I'm just chilling, man. Regular, man.
That nigga need that Ritalin shit to calm his shit down. You heard me?
Nah. Some nigga told me, said, yo, my man, right? What's his name? Damn, the nigga from Detroit. He was like, yo, you need to smoke some weed, Slander. I said, nah, I'm good.
Nah,
I like
I ain't
the way
gonna lie
I
to you, bro. You might need to holler at a couple of pulls of that, man. Some shower or something, man. Relax yourself, man.
He might need to do something. You heard? Hey, yo, Left-Handed, what's the verdict, fam?
Left,
like you good?
12-year-old, man.
I'm in the building, man, like Kawhi Leonard, man. I'm dropping it on these niggas' heads, man. You know what I mean? Hey, yo, Slander, I got the official, man. I'm still on my 420 swing, so whatever, man. Got this shit to calm you right the fuck on out.
That's what we doing. But yo, I like to welcome everybody to Fresh Slander Radio Show. You know, 4 horsemen in the building. We definitely holding it down, and we got a special show today. Matter of fact, I don't even want to waste no time. We got somebody on the line right now. I don't want to waste no time, fellas. So let's do it like this. Hey, yo, 7896, you on the Fresh Slander Radio Show with the 4 horsemen. What's your name, please?
Benzino.
Oh, Uncle Ray, what's good, man?
Oh, in the building.
Hey, Uncle Ray is in the building early. What's good?
We ain't going to waste no time. It's an honor to have you on the show, now I mean. On behalf of the 4 horsemen, we definitely, now I mean, this is an honor right here. And we appreciate you taking the time to chop it up with us. We got Left-Handed on the line. We got Matt Slander on the line.
Peace.
We got Scott LaRock Jr. on the line. And we got me. I'm Harlem Fresh 125. Everybody, one more time, give it up for the boy Benzino. You heard?
Yes, sir. Respect.
Appreciate that. Homie. Hell yeah. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the studio now. I'm in Boston now. Sitting over here with my man Gunsy. Yeah, we in the studio now talking about George Clinton. So, we like, you know what I'm saying? I definitely want to salute Scott LaRock. You know what I'm saying? Definitely want to salute Scott LaRock because definitely like in that era, I had met Paul C, the late great Paul C also. So, when I was up in New York, and I know that he had, like some as far as trying to produce beats for KRS, you know what I'm saying? I think after Scott had passed away. So, you know what I'm saying? I definitely want to salute Scott LaRock because, a lot of people don't understand. Scott brought a whole new sound to hip-hop. I don't think he gets the credit that he deserves. And a lot of that, hip-hop and reggae was, you know what I'm saying, was really first kind of like introduced by Scott LaRock. You know what I'm saying? Like certain drum patterns and certain drum sounds. So, I know my history.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Shout out to the almighty RSO, yo. Shout out to the almighty RSO. You already know what it is, man. History.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that, King. Definitely appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
So what's good, Zeno? What else you got going on? You out there in Boston? You in the studio? What you cooking up in the kitchen, fam? Talk to us.
You know what? Shit, man. I just been doing music, man. I continue to do music no matter what. It's just in me, Like I'm 53 now, and I remember when I was in the South Bronx. My grandfather had a house up on Cedar Avenue, and he had yeah. So like my uncle taught me how to scratch like in '77. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So. So hip-hop been a part of me. So it's like, I don't think I'll ever stop doing music. You know what I'm saying? I just do music. Just give me a hard beat, and I just like zoning. You know what I'm saying? Getting on my 420 and just write. You know, just write to the
as you should.
Yep. Believe that. So you know what I mean. I got a bunch of songs. You know, nowadays I'm just trying to get my catalog pretty much on all the digital formats. I got a bunch of old songs that ain't even really out there for people to kind of like be up on. You know, I'm just kind of I'm not 100% all the way with this new era as far as trying to, you know, get your music on all these different digital formats. So I'm just trying to get my old catalog up on all these formats and then, you know, start trying to, you know, like campaign some of these new songs and stuff. That's it. You know, as
no
far
doubt. Word. But like when it comes to the Source magazine, like when I hear Benzino name, I think of Source magazine and I think about, who gonna get 5 mics? Now I mean I came up in that era. Who's gonna get their mics in the Source? You heard?
Yep. Dope era. I mean that like really that was it's funny because people don't even understand. It's not just the music change. It really was an era change. And I mean, you know, when the Source came about, it was really like the first type of you know, media outlet on a major level. You know, and that got taken to the next level. And you know that all the credit really goes out to Dave Mays. I mean, all the people. You know what I'm saying? He had a lot of his college buddies at the time that all put into that. They was all, you know, like journalists and stuff like that. You know, when it came to the mic, the 5 mic stuff, I really never had anything to do as far as like with grading anybody's album. You know, like I've spoke on it a couple of times, you know, because different artists. I remember Praz, you know, was like, man, I didn't like you, man. And I was like, how come, man? He's like, I thought you guessed it, man. I had nothing to do with that, bro. And you know what I'm saying? We would sit, we talk, me and Nori, the same thing. So I'm sure a lot of people felt like I might have personally had something to do with, like, somebody getting a mic or minus a mic or plus a mic, but I really did it. Now, there were a couple of instances that I had influenced a couple of albums, you know what I'm saying? You know, and that right there was just over, you know, like when that Eminem stuff was going on. But, you know, I pretty much, I understood, you know, like the mistakes I made as far as with that goes, you know, because, you know, you got to understand, like I've always looked at hip hop as like something individual, like, and just music alone. Like I really, you know, because see, I got to be up in the Source and, you know, where, you know, like you would have a lot of these college kids rating the albums. And my thing is, when you look at hip hop back then, it was almost like a divide, just like kind of like, you know, like, okay, if you have a household and one of the kids goes to college and the other kid is in the streets, well, these are 2 totally different kids at that time. You understand what I'm saying? Totally different lifestyles. And especially if you know, if one of the young men went to college and he lived on campus. So it was like that with hip hop. You know, there was concerts, there was your gangster rap. So a lot of different albums, you know what I'm saying? I mean, some albums, you know, I guess if we're going to rate them, I'm sure that people can have a consensus that some albums everybody loves. So we could say that, okay, yeah, you know, if somebody from L.A. loved this album, somebody from New York loved this album, well, that means that, all right, this is a good album. But on the most part, if this is my theory, if you're a bunch of college kids, there's nothing the matter with college kids, you know what I'm saying? But if you're rating, you know, street music, hip, you know, like real gangster music, then I would think that you would have a hard time trying to give a real fair mic rating. But that was just me. So that was like my whole issue with the Source and the whole mic rating. I mean, I used to keep it quiet. I never said anything, but because people live by that. That was the Bible, and that was people were taking that serious. But you know,
that's right.
The flip side is that if the business side is if you a label and if you like Universal Records and you know one of your and you spending all this money with advertisements and these guys is rating, you know, the Source gives you a 2.5 mics, then now you're gonna be thinking about, you know, not wanting to advertise. You understand? And having meetings about that. Yeah, of course.
Because the way I see it is that
they gave they gave all for one. They gave the Brand Nubians five mics, so I was good with that. So and they deserved it. So I mean, pretty much, the source was what it was, and the source of hip hop music. So again, man, don't feel no way if you got like 2.5 mics or whatever the case may be. That's just what it was. But if you liked it, then you liked it. You know what I mean?
And
but I come back when the source was 1 page. You know what I mean? Back in the day.
And to piggyback off that, what Benzino was saying is like the college kid is different from the nigga that's in the street is. So they listening to it and they getting a different effect than the nigga that's in the street hustling, and they like, yo, that's that shit right there.
Right.
That's right. That's right. And let me give you a case of fact. I remember when Little Brother first came out, the group Little Brother, and they came out the same time Jeezy's first album came out. Now at that time, nobody had heard. At that time, they was all, Little Brothered out. They was all for Little Brother. But when Jeezy's first album came, that was like the beginning of trap music. And lo and behold, the influence of that album and just trap alone is still popping today. So they didn't understand that. I think they gave Little Brother 4.5 mics and gave Jeezy's album like three mics. And that was a classic album. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
Like, so they didn't understand trap music and street hip hop and even the beats at that time for that type of sound. So that was just an example. And like when he just said that, I was like, and the way he said that was dope. It was like, yeah, like they listened to it with a whole different outlook. You know what I'm saying? And that's see. And I didn't want to diminish the value of the 5-mic system, but I just with me, it's just
diminish the value of the 5-mic system.
I mean, because I like what I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I like, surely the next man might not like. Now, for instance, let's say like us 5 got in the room and we, was like the 5-mic guys. You know what I'm saying? And we decided it's like that's not easy nowadays to get, say, 10 albums and rate and be like I like and I don't like, because everything. I mean, it's so like there are so many different demographics. Yeah, exactly. There are so many different demographics of music now. Whereas that something would come in and you would be like, I hate this shit. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even be close. So I just think that people should listen to music. That's what hip hop was, and that's what DJing was. I mean, I think DJs are affected by that now. That like the modern DJ, to me, isn't like the DJ back then. Like back then, the DJ would play what was hot. The people would determine it, and that's what kept our music fresh. That's what kept everything.
I'm gonna take it a step deeper. Back then, the DJs actually had skills. They could scratch records. They actually was doing things other than pressing buttons on a computer. DJs was way better back then. I go to the club.
You had to be involved in the music. You had to be involved in the music. Right. That's right.
That ain't no talent. And any chump with a laptop could be a DJ today.
I mean, you know what? I think now
you got a DJ. You got a laptop and you got Serato DJ. You can be a DJ today.
Yeah, I think it's a gift and a curse with technology. I mean, I think technology. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, like even if it was carrying crates of records, then you could then that's you paying your dues. Nobody's paying dues these days. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody's paying their dues.
That's right.
Nobody's paying. They're getting instant gratification for bullshit too.
Because we made it. Because throughout the times of generations, shit got made easier for the people that came after us. Shit got made way easier. Remember, we came up on beepers and shit. Niggas had pages, 2-way pages then. Then the shit went to flip phones. Then now niggas got iPhones. Everything gets made easier and easier as the generation goes on and prolongs. And that's the fucked up thing, because niggas don't understand the grind, what niggas really had to do to take it there first. Now, man. But, yo, we got another caller on the line. I want. This is a dope-ass conversation. Benzino, you got time to hang out with us, right, for a little bit?
Definitely.
All right, bet. Let me get the next caller on the line. Hey, yo, 4747, you on the Fresh Slander Radio Show with the Four Horsemen. What's good? State your name, fam.
What's going on, family? This is Mysonne. What's going on with you?
Mysonne. Oh, shit. Nah, man, y'all never know who call up on Fresh Slander Radio. We got Mysonne on the line. We got Benzino on the line. Let's get it. How you, fam? What's going on?
I'm blessed and highly favored, man. You know, just
yes, sir.
On the show, calling to show some love. You know, shout out to my nigga Skylar Rock Jr., my bro.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just wanted to call in.
Definitely. Nah, man. Mike, well, what you got cooking, though? Because I definitely see you on the political stance and things. I'll be seeing your Instagram posts. I definitely be checking them out. This Harlem Fresh 125 talking right now.
Yo,
and I know you got that going on.
Correct, son. Real quick, Mike.
Go ahead.
Yo, it's not politics that we out here doing, man. Like,
okay.
Like, politics is bullshit, bro. Like, people out here fighting a real fight, bro. Let's not confuse that with the politics, bro. Like,
okay.
Know what I mean? We actually doing something meaningful, bro, that benefit us. You feel me? Politics is for them. Politics is a bunch of bullshit they tell us, and we run with.
Okay.
That's what we programmed to believe. Like, we're not out there preaching politics. We out there giving people reality checks, bro. It's a big difference.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's what when they told me that I said I do street politics. I'm a street politician. You know, I don't really engage in the rest of that shit because, like you said, a lot of that shit is smoke and mirrors. Most of that shit is smoke and mirrors. But we doing, you know, just trying to aware, man. Just coming from where we come from, understanding our plight, understanding what we're dealing with. You know, and I feel like if we not informing our own, then we leave them to inform us. So, you know, I'm just out there fighting the fight, man, standing on the front line, speaking up against shit that I know is wrong, standing up against shit that I know is wrong, you know, trying to educate these young kids so they don't go down the same paths and make the same mistakes I did. You know, my thing is, as you grow into OG, man, if the kids make the same mistakes you made, then you fail. So, you know,
you teach them right. That's right.
Definitely. And the thing with Mysonne that always stood out to me, know what I mean? Because I definitely was listening to his music back in the day when he was with the Rough Riders and all that shit. But Mysonne always stood for morals. He had a code of ethics, know what I mean? He had standards and shit. And he tries to preach that into the youth today, to stand for something. Don't just be a follower. Learn how to have your own mind and think for yourself. And I think that's what a lot of this generation is missing that's coming up nowadays. How do you feel about that, Mike? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much what I tell people all the time. We had, you know, a lot of time we a lot harder on these kids, but we had our own similar shit. I think every generation moves a little further away from consciousness. So understanding that much, I have a little more tolerance. You know, some shit I don't have no tolerance for. When you lack integrity in anything, for me, I don't really have tolerance for that. But I understand that these kids is going to make mistakes because we made mistakes. They're going to do dumb shit and glorify some stupid shit that we glorify, you know, until they learn better. So I think it's our job to have a little more patience with them, but still be firm when we checking them and we educate them. So, you know, I think a lot of principles that we came up on this generation has moved away from it because before money was the reward of integrity and moving with some level of, you know, respect and dignity. Those things was the reward of it. You know, we didn't never want to put that before that. But at this point, it's just money over everything. That's their mantra. So when you understand that, then you realize that anything is for sale. You realize that they don't really care about morals and integrity. They don't have shame. A lot of these kids don't have shame because in their minds, if they got money, then everything else doesn't even matter. So,
right. Okay.
Yeah, so Mike, we wasn't raised that way. Mike, this is mass slander, right? Like when you say that, like who do we have to blame for that? Like, do we blame it on the parents, or like who do we get that? You know what I'm saying? Like where does the root of the problem comes from? You get what I'm saying? Like. I think it matured into that. I think the culture fed us that. I think as we started, I think what happened was this. It's like anything else. It's like when chicks, you know, it was girls in school that had long hair, right? Yep. And the girls that didn't have long hair wasn't really noticed that much.
So what they did was they made it popular. They made it popular to wear weave. They made you feel like if you wasn't wearing a weave, then you wasn't there. They figured out how to condition you to believe that fucking weave popping, and they glorified the weave. So what happens is these dudes that didn't have integrity, didn't have respect, wasn't able to just survive with respect and all that. When they got money, they made it feel like that superseded everything. So it was a training. It was a lot of niggas that wasn't cool in high school, didn't get respect from the girls, didn't want to mess with them because they just didn't move right. They didn't have the swag, they didn't have aura. So what they did was they tried to make their money compensate. And then when they was able to create that narrative, when you got money, you were able to be in the limelight. You were able to create a narrative, and that's what the narrative that got pushed. If you look at a lot of these artists and shit that they promote, these niggas ain't even men. Most of them don't even have any level of integrity. So that's all they ever had to stand on. So if you give them the platform to talk about something, the only thing they can tell you is, I got money. Because they don't have nothing else to promote. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So when they start promoting that and these kids is watching, they start saying, okay, that's all it takes to win. All I need is money. And that's it, but that shit is shallow after a while. They got the type of music. The culture is the shit that you grow out of. After you get 30-something, you start realizing that this shit is you grow out of. You know what I'm saying? The culture we had before was what you grew into. You grew into morals and integrity. You know what I'm saying?
Perception.
So it's just different. Perception. Yeah, it's perception. Exactly.
Yo, Benzino, you want to chime in on that, Benzino?
What up, Mike? You saying that?
What's going on, Zeno? How are you?
Everything good, bro. I mean, he's saying it right. And then with the whole thing with social media, now that narrative can be falsely presented, and that's like, and that's what, and that's what becomes like the even worse. That's a bad thing, because now, it's not just about telling you got money. I'm going to show you that even if I don't have money, I'm going to act like I do have money. So really it becomes a false narrative within yourself. So you don't even know what's real within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so much stuff that's falsified and so much BS. And it's even down to our president. I mean, the president is showing you that he could just lie his way throughout his whole term. And, I mean, this is what kids are doing. And, they don't have any. There's no respect level, and I used to live in Miami, and over that bridge, you'd be surprised. I mean, what I'm saying, like them kids over there growing up in horrible conditions. It's almost like a third world country in certain parts of Miami over that bridge, and these are kids that they don't know, but none of them know what love is. Like their mother and fathers did not give them no love. So if they don't have any love or any respect, it's nothing for them to disrespect. It's nothing for them to take a life. It's nothing for them to do anything without having no conscience. I think what's probably kept me living is that, even though I was out there doing my street shit, I always had a conscience. And I got that from my mother. So anything, because I didn't want to let her down. So if you don't grow up with something in you to say, like, okay, I don't want to let her down, then, man, you're just going to be a savage. And by the time you reach 21, 22, 23, it's almost no turning back. This is how you are, and this is how you're going to be.
Word. Shout out to all the mothers out there. Shout out to all the mothers. Word.
That's what I'm saying. It's a certain way that I never would carry myself, because I never wanted to embarrass my mother, and I didn't have and I had shame. Like it's certain shit I wouldn't do. I didn't want other parents and older people to be like, damn, that kid don't even have no manners. Like, how was his mother raising him? I never wanted the way that I reflected even when I was doing negative shit. When the old lady from down the block on my next door neighbor walked by, we straightened up, we carried her bag, we did shit to be mannerable. You know what I'm saying? We had a code of ethics, and I think at this point, these kids don't even care. That's what I'm saying. They don't have shame, and when you don't have shame, then you're a dangerous person. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I can hear.
And that's why you get all this disrespect, and then when you give somebody with that type of attitude and character money, now that's it. It's over now, because you know, he got money now, and all he wants to do is show. You know, he's gonna be more disrespectful. He's gonna feel like the money is giving him even more reason to be even more disrespectful. Right? Because at the end of the day, nowadays, it's not even just money, but I mean, you can really buy anybody you want nowadays. I mean, for fame and money, you can really have any. You can buy somebody's son, daughter, have their wife. I mean, honestly, it's
spooky out there. It's spooky.
Yeah, it's to the point where
Zeno, all right, but who? All right, but like you guys were rappers, right? You guys all were rappers. This is Matt Chandler talking. Who's for, like, do you, not you per se, but do like rappers in general, do they have a part to play in that? Meaning, like, because they throw that out there with the cars, the money.
Well, look, but I can, you know what?
That's a good question. The jury and all that shit.
But look,
you get what I'm saying?
Two things I can say to that. Like, okay, the blame thing, I think, you know what I'm saying, at some point we're just not going to have to just leave that alone and just work on trying to get solutions. But I will agree to this, and honestly, and I don't want to sound like a hypocrite, I really do think that hip-hop nowadays, and it's the first time I've probably ever thought this, is starting to be detrimental to these kids out here. I mean, the type of vibrations, the type of music. I mean, I just think now, I think it's helping the mindset to be negative, to kill one another. I think, and I've never thought that. I've never said that, you know. And but that's been on my mind. I'm thinking that a lot of the music, the drugs, the whole lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? It kind of helped. You know what I'm saying? A kid to go out there and, you know what I'm saying, just hurt another kid of color, you know. And, you know, I think we have to start, you know, looking at that. Even the 808, you know, even the 808 drum ain't never sounded like this before. I just think that the vibrations are real strong for these kids, you know.
It's funny that you say that, Benzino, because on the show yesterday, I was telling Slander we shouldn't be trying to blame or point the finger at nobody, because that's what our show is for, to bridge the gap between everything. And it's like, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 79. So the first niggas that I seen with jewelry and cars and money was the dope dealers in front of my projects in Grant. I'm from 125th Street, Grant Projects. And then when the rappers start doing it, like having money and jewelry and shit, it's like that was the phase you could go to without having to worry about the cops trying to get you. But it's like now the phase to be a rapper, that's another way for the cops to get you. So it's like the shit just elevated to what I thought was a safe zone. Now it's like a primary target, because we got the hip hop police and all that shit now. So it's like, which direction do you turn? Which way to go is safe now? Because you just never know what's going on.
Yeah, but it's real deeper than that, because I mean, at the end of the day, man, you know, and I even look at the shit I was doing, frivolous, spending all that money on diamonds and jewelry, and it's already losing value when you take it out. I mean, you know, our whole mindset has to get reconditioned. I mean, honestly, and I was a part of that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, I made it to this age where I can see where I have slowed down enough and gained more intelligence enough to see that the shit that I was doing was just, you know, it just wasn't right. And
I think,
you know.
My fault. Let me interrupt you. Continue.
Yo, let's go. We go.
No, Zeno, I didn't interrupt you. Keep going.
Oh, no, I'm listening. Oh, hell no. Yeah, I'm listening.
No, what I'm saying is I think what happened was there was the balance in hip-hop change. See, you always have people, there was the braggadocious rap, there was the people that, you know, was fly and flashy, but then there was the balance. So when there was no balance, there was no KRS-One, there was no Public Enemy, there was...
Get mad at Harlem. Get mad at Harlem. Get mad at Harlem.